Modern bees have been around for 100 million years, and through pollination they have created habitats and food for millions of species. As for humans, they pollinate 80% of all the world's plants and bring in $20 billion from crop production in the United States alone. But around the world, bees are dropping dead left and right, from cold weather, colony collapse disorder, and lethal pesticides. Without bees, the world will not be able to continue. In order to save ourselves, we need to save them first. Knowing how bees live, reproduce, and work will allow us to understand their lives and make a conscious effort to help them.
My name is Alaine Heivilin. I'm a professional beekeeper. I've been beekeeping for almost 10 years. The life cycles of bees. So the life cycles of bees only live for 35 days. And there's only one male, there's a drone, and he lives for about 45 days. And his job is just to mate with the queen. So once he does his job, he dies. So the first week, the first 11 days, you're a nurse bee. And all you do is take care of the hive. That's all they do. For the first 4 to 5 days, they don't even fly. They really just don't even have a stinger yet. They kind of hang out and start establishing themselves. They don't even really have color yet. So about the 5th day, they start establishing the color and their wings start forming and they actually get a stinger. And then they start taking care of the hive and they start taking pollen from the pollinating bees that come into the hive. After day 11, then you become a builder bee, and then you become, I think it's the guard bee. The builder bee, then you start building stuff. The hive start building into the hive. That your mindset clicks when you become a builder bee. You're no longer a nurse bee, so your brain turns and we build stuff now. Okay, we start building. So they start building wax and they start building stuff and they do all that stuff. That's up to about, I think, day 18. Then their brain clicks. Okay, now we're a pollinator bee and we're a guard bee. Okay, that's week 3. That's their 3rd stage of life. So they're pollinating, so they're going out and they're getting pollination, they're coming back to the hive, they're doing all that stuff. Then their last stage of life, they're an undertaker bee and they're a guard bee. So those are the bees that you usually get stung by. When they're out and about, those are the ones that you all get stung by.
CCD is caused by many factors. Certain pesticides like neonicotinoid have been proven to kill bees and lower their reproductive health. Colonies have been disappearing at alarming rates in many parts of the world due to the accumulated effects of parasitic mites, viral and bacterial diseases, and increased losses due to the invasive varroa mite.
Varroa mites are what we commonly call a tick on a bee. Varroa mites are a little bug that grows inside the cell when they're on a larva stage, and once they cap the cell off, this varroa mite grows with the bee until they die. What they do is they suck off the fat of a bee, and it can take over a colony of bees really fast, and it can kill your entire colony if a beekeeper isn't paying attention and treats the hive. So we try to do preventive maintenance on the hives and treat for bees and test for bees for them.
Changes in their habitat and weather have caused bees to lose their hives, leaving them to burn in the heat and freeze to death in winters. Stress bees experience due to management practices such as transportation to multiple locations across the country for providing pollination services, changes to the habitat where bees forage, inadequate forage or poor nutrition, potential immune suppressing stress on bees caused by one or a combination of factors identified above. To keep our species alive and well for centuries to come, we need to protect the lives around us. Why they're important. Many domestic and imported fruits and vegetables require pollination. 80% of the U.S. crop is said to be dependent on honeybees. Honeybees can also pollinate field cattle, so there are implications for the meat and dairy industry as well. Bees produce honey to feed their colonies during cold winter months. Humans have harvested honey for thousands of years, but we aren't the only ones who consider it a sweet snack. Critters like birds, raccoons, opossums, and insects will raid beehives for a taste of nutritious honey. In order to save our species, we need to start with some of the smallest. We depend on the world around us to survive, and they depend on us too. Do not weed your garden. Many plants, like dandelion, for example, are an excellent source of food for bees. In early spring, those weeds are often the only source of food for beneficial insects. Educate yourself and your children about bees. Bees are not dangerous. They forage on flowers and don't naturally attack humans. In order to save our species, we need to start with some of the smallest. We depend on the world around us to survive, and they depend on us too.